Thank you for clicking on this video. This video is for the Affordable Homes Fund 21-26 CME route, and it's going to look at the IMS claiming screen differences to the Shared Ownership and Affordable Homes Programme 2016 to 21. My name's Susan Roberts. This video was recorded in March 2021, so before release of allocations to IMS. It does reflect IMS as expected at this point in time. So the video structure. So this video is aimed at those of you who have previously used IMS to do claiming in the 1621 programme. It's only going to look at the differences in those screens, not at the full process of claiming. There will be videos on that available, and they will be on the new user playlist when they become available. So I'm going to start by looking at how to use the video information, and that's because something has changed about the way that the videos are structured and so on. This video is about profiles and schemes screens only, and I'm going to specifically look at changes in profiles, schemes, and I'm also going to mention officer certificates at the end. I'll cover the other videos and how to find them. This video does assume that you've already watched the equivalent video or videos about bidding for the 21-26 programme. As with all videos, any data that I will show you in IMS have been set up specifically by Homes England for this video and are not live data, so there are no data protection issues with what I'm going to show you. So first, how to use the video information. So to do this, I'm going to take you into our YouTube channel. So the next time you see my screen, I'll be in YouTube. So I'm in YouTube and I'm on the playlist for 21-26, and what I'm going to show you applies to the 21-26 videos. It doesn't apply to earlier videos. So let me scroll down a bit to below the description. So you can see here there's a brief description and then it says show more. Let me click on that show more. So what that does is it shows me the text that's below that point, but also the timings for the video. So you can see the individual timings, and you'll notice that as you move your mouse pointer over them, it changes to a link. So let me show you how one of those works. So if I move to how to bid, so that jumps me to that point on the video. So next, profile screen changes. So as with offer lines, 2021 to 26 now appears as an option in all the programme period lists, and the partnership period has also been tidied up for time periods no longer used within the offers system. The new tabs that were introduced on offer lines are also in profiles, with the addition of a new tab for building for life. There are also some changes in the sites tab. Some of you may have seen those already on offer lines, but I'm just going to repeat those changes so that you're aware of them. There's some changes on the organisation tab, units, the new building for life, and just to stress about the MMC tab, which was new as well. So first of all, the section 106 tab on the site. So if you haven't seen it already, those section 106 questions have been reworded slightly since the start of the 21-26 programme. So if you're profiling out of bulk or splitting schemes, it's important that you ensure that you attach a site that's got the new style site, and that's the one with 4 questions on the section 106 tab and not the previous 9 questions. Those of you that have worked with us for some time will be aware that question 1 on the section 106 used to determine whether a site was a Section 106 site. That is no longer the case. And I'll explain what I mean by that when I actually get into the question. Some of the validations as a result of that have been changed. So let me bring up a site and show you the Section 106 tab within it. Okay, so I'm in IMS and I'm on a site that's against a 2126 offer line. So you can see on the Section 106 tab, there are now 4 questions. Question 1 is asking about the whole site, not necessarily about the units that you've had. So if you were to answer yes to question 1, so that would say that there is a Section 106 agreement on the site, and yes to question 2. So question 2 is about whether these particular units in this offer line are additional to that Section 106. These units will be flagged as not Section 106 units. So you need to be really careful about how you're completing these questions. If you ever need further clarification, please talk to either my colleagues in growth or provider management about the specifics of your site if you're unsure how to complete this. So next, some changes on the organisation tab. So on your offer line, you were asked about whether you were going to be using SME contractors. That was on the organisation tab. And now there are some additional questions in relation to that have appeared on the organisation tab. And there's a new validation in there. So let me take you to the tab and explain about that new validation. Okay, so I am now in a 2126 profile and on the organisation tab. So it asks you, are you going to use any SME contractors on this scheme? And well, at the moment, it's not letting me change anything. So let me set this so that I can edit it, which I do by clicking on the create a new profile line version. Okay, so if I've selected yes here, what it wants me to add is information below here on the SME partners that I'm going to be working with. Now, you can leave this information blank at this stage, but the validation that I mentioned was going to appear is it will not let you create a scheme if you've said you're going to be using SME contractors, but you've not identified who those contractors or contractor is going to be. So to add an SME partner details, you click on the plus button and then you type into the box. So you would put the name, organization name in there. Never asks you to do a drop down or anything like that. So that will then stay in there. You can add multiple lines if you want, or you can just leave it at the one. For this to create a scheme, it's looking for a minimum of 1 provider there. So that's all there is to that additional information. So next, some changes on the units tab. And in 1621, there's a question on shared space. That field has been moved to the new Building for Life tab. And there's also been some changes since the launch of the programme in the wheelchair category. So I'm just going to show you that in case you've not seen that. So let me take you again into IMS. Okay, so first of all, you can see at the bottom, there is nothing about shared space. But if I go for the new Building for Life tab, you can see that under additional data, there is a question about the communal areas, the shared space. And if you were to put in a yes, then it would want to know what that space is. So let me go back to the unit details and open that data up. Okay, so I said that the wheelchair accessibility categories had changed. So you can see this one has now been set to category 1 visitable, but the other categories are as shown on screen. So category 2 is accessible and adaptable. Category 3 is wheelchair user dwellings. Okay, so I'm now going to quickly take you back to the new tab, which is the Building for Life tab. Okay, so you need to enter, have you carried out a Building for Life assessment? And that can be yes or no. And then it says, please indicate which BFL questions have a green assessment, and you tick all those that apply in your case. So I've selected a number in that case. The additional information, whole life cycle costs. For my site, I'm going to put not applicable, and my site hasn't got communal areas, so the size of those communal areas doesn't appear. If I were to put yes, you'll see that it does appear for me to enter. And finally, the MMC tab in terms of the tabs that we're going to look at. So this one actually hasn't changed since it was new on the offer line, but just to show you that you can update it if necessary. Okay, so at the moment I've entered that it was not applicable and not applicable. If I needed to change those, I could change those if that was relevant. And then I just save in the normal way. If I needed to put select options here, I could, and then just again save in the normal way. So next, changes in schemes. Well, there's been no changes in the scheme's functionality at all. But as I identified earlier, if you've identified you're using one or more SME contractors, you'll need to identify on the organisation tab at least one contractor in those boxes that we saw. So next, a quick word about officer certificates. So you're not going to be required to complete officer certificates on a quarterly basis for the 21-26 programme. They won't appear on your contract, but you will still be required to complete an officer certificate for any programme that you have active allocation in. Okay, so now to the other IMS training videos and how to find and use them. So I'm on the IMS guidance and training page of our website. Let me just scroll down. So the page is structured into the individual programs and program periods. So the YouTube videos that used to appear at the top under investment management system training now appear under individual programs. So there are videos for 21-26, there are videos for 16-21, and there are also, or will be, videos shortly for Rough Sleepers programme. So the way that the videos for 21-26 have been structured is that there are two different playlists of videos. There's one for new users and one for existing users. So the new users will have the detail of how to do stuff. The existing users will only have the differences between these screens for 21-26 and the previous programme. So I've gone into the new user. We're going to be careful about how we name the videos. So you can see here that this is bidding and it's video 1. So we'll then have claiming and video 1 and so on. They're obviously not here yet because I haven't recorded them at this point. But any of the 21-26 ones will have that more detailed description underneath with the timings that you can obviously jump into the videos. So I hope you found this video useful.